This university is giving 600 scholarships to international students. The scholarship covers your full tuition fees up to $135,000 of living expenses. It covers your relocation allowance and even your health insurance. But before we get into it, if you are new here, you are welcome to my channel. And if you've not subscribed, please subscribe, like, share and comment and help support my channel. Let's get started. Today we are at the University of Melbourne and we are going to talk about their graduate research scholarships. They are giving out 600 scholarships to both international and domestic students. So let's go through it together and see how to apply to this scholarship. We are going to start with the benefits and it's in two parts. The first one is stipend and fee offset scholarships. It says full fee offset for up to 2 years for students undertaking a master's by research degree or up to 4 years for students undertaking a doctoral degree. So your fees in the school will be covered while you are studying. And it says living allowance of $38,500 per year for up to 2 years for students undertaking a master's by research degree or up to 3.5 years for students undertaking a doctoral degree. This amount is for each year. You're going to receive $38,500 as your living expenses. The living allowance may be indexed annually and includes limited paid sick, maternity and parental leave. So if you get sick while you're on the program, you are still going to receive your allowance. You're going to receive an allowance for maternity leave and then parenting leave. With this scholarship, you're able to travel with your family. So if your child gets sick, you're able to take a parenting leave. Then we have relocation grant of $2,000 for students moving from states or territories other than Victoria, or $3,000 for students moving from outside Australia. So you are going to receive $3,000 to cover the cost of your relocation to Australia. Then the next one is overseas student health cover. Single membership for international students who require a student visa to study in Australia. Your health insurance is also going to be covered under this scholarship. Then here it says fee offset scholarship. Full fee offset for up to 2 years for students undertaking masters by research degree or up to 4 years for students undertaking a doctoral degree. So it's the same as the one up there. Your tuition fee is going to be covered for the full period of your study. Then here to confirm the number of scholarships is 600. They are giving out 600 scholarships to international students and domestic students. So let's check the eligibility and see if we can make this application. For the eligibility, it says to be considered for this scholarship, you must have applied for and meet the requirements for a graduate research degree at the University of Melbourne or be currently enrolled in a graduate research degree at the University of Melbourne. Before you are considered for the scholarship, you must apply for a program at the University of Melbourne or you should be an enrolled student already. This scholarship does not have a separate application. You only apply for the graduate program and then you are automatically considered for the scholarship. Then for the selection criteria, it says graduate research scholarships that provide a stipend as well as fee offset are awarded to domestic and international students based on academic merit. Eligible applicants are scored and ranked according to the academic achievement of their last completed degree and their research potential in their field of study. Factors such as completion of a degree at the same level of the research course for which the scholarship is sought, relevant professional experience, refereed publications, specialist medical qualification, or composition of original music may be taken into consideration. Now let's see how to apply to a graduate program. It's in 3 parts. One is for a new student, one is for an accepted or deferred student, and then the last one is for an enrolled student. We are new students, so we are going to check the first one. If you are an enrolled student, you can check the last one. It says, if you're a new student and have applied for a graduate research course by the application closing date for that course, you will be automatically considered for the graduate research scholarships. You will receive a notification that a scholarship application has been added to your record within 10 business days of having submitted your course application. This means after you've made your application to the program, after 10 business days, you are going to receive an email that says that a scholarship has been added to your application. Now let's click this and see how to apply to the graduate research program. For the international applications, we have entry requirements applications. So let's check entry requirements. For entry requirements for international students, it says to be eligible to apply for graduate research courses, you are normally required to have completed at least a 4-year Australian bachelor's course or overseas equivalent and achieves an overall average of greater than 75% in the final year of the course. You are also normally required to have completed a research project or component that accounts for at least 25% of your year's work at fourth year undergraduate or master's level. So that is the final year project you do when you are about to complete. Then it says some courses may have higher or additional entry requirements and a pre-application process. So you have to check your program before you can have the full entry requirement. Now let's go down, and it says course specific requirements. Requirements vary by course. Usually, to apply for a graduate research course, you first need to determine your research topic and find a supervisor. Some graduate schools advertise available projects. So it says that usually that's what happens. It doesn't mean that all the programs need you to find a supervisor. Then finding a supervisor, check with the course you're applying for to see if you need to find a supervisor for your course before applying. If so, you want to make sure the supervisors you choose are right for your needs and can support you in your research. Then it says for help finding a supervisor, visit this link. So you can click this link for help to find you a supervisor. Then writing a research proposal. Some graduate schools also require a research proposal as part of your application. To develop a successful proposal, you need to be familiar with current research in the area. Your proposal also needs to state your research question, your area of interest, and how you will undertake your research. Then let's go to the English language requirement. It says if you've completed an undergraduate course in the last 2 years, where the course was entirely taught and assessed in English, typically you will satisfy English language requirements. So if you've completed a program in English in the last 2 years, you don't have to submit an English language certificate. That already proves your English language proficiency. Then here there's more information about the English language background. It says if the degree was completed within 2 years of your commencement to study at the University of Melbourne, no additional evidence of English language proficiency is required. If it's between 2 and 5 years of your commencement to study at the University of Melbourne, evidence of work in an English-speaking environment is required. So if your degree was 2 to 5 years ago, you need to show work experience in an environment where English is spoken. Then the last one is more than 5 years of your commencement to study at the University of Melbourne, evidence that sustained work in a designated country in an English-speaking environment has been undertaken since completing the degree will be required. If your degree is more than 5 years, you also have to show evidence of sustained work in a designated country. So let's see the designated countries. We're going to click this. These are the designated countries. We have English-speaking countries, and then we have predominantly English-speaking countries. We have Ghana, we have Kenya, we have Nigeria, we have Tanzania, we have Uganda. So there are lots of countries here. If you check on your country is here, it means your country is part of the designated countries. Now the evidence of work, it says sufficient documentation includes an up-to-date resume. So apart from the letter I mentioned, you can even use your resume to prove your English language proficiency. Then it says if your institution is in another country, to demonstrate this, you will need to submit the following notification with your application. That is, if your university is in another country which is not mentioned but it was in English, it says a letter or official letter or an email from an official staff member email account from the academic registrar or a suitable delegate, which specifies either that all degrees at the institution are entirely taught and assessed in English, or that specific degree was completed or entirely taught and assessed in English. To apply to a research program, let's click this and then click Graduate Research and PhD Students. Here we have the programs undergraduate research if you want to filter it according to your field. So let's select any of them and see how to make the application. Let's click on Master of Education Research. When you come down here, you can find information about the program. They have the overview, the entry requirements, course structure. So you can just go through it and get more information about the program. But we are going to click on the entry requirement. The entry requirement for this particular program is a 4-year education degree, an undergraduate degree in any discipline, at least 50 credit points of graduate study in education or the relevant discipline to the proposed topic of research, and the weighted average mark of at least 75% or equivalent in the previous study. So this criteria is for this program. We are not going to check the English language requirement because it's the same for all the other programs. Now let's click how to apply. Here's the application process. It's in two forms. You have to write a research proposal. So they've given you a structure for the research proposal. It says research proposal should be 3,000 to 4,000 words for the Master of Education research degree. The list of references should not be counted towards the overall word count. So this is the format: the research topic, aims and focus of the study, key concepts and theories, approach and methodology, rationale for coming to the Faculty of Education. So you go through it and you use this to write your research proposal. Then the next one is you find a supervisor. He says, please attach your research proposal or a short summary and CV when contacting your potential supervisors via email. You will need to upload evidence of your intended principal supervisor's support when submitting your application. This can be in email format and must include the intended supervisor's agreement to supervise you should your application be successful. So the first thing you have to do is you write your research proposal, then you find a supervisor who is willing to supervise you if your application is successful, then you can make your application. Here it says before you make your application, you have to prepare your documentation and you need academic transcripts, and you also need to provide the name and contact details of 2 referees. If it is less than 5 years since you completed your last course, they should be academic referee. If it is more than 5 years since you completed your last course, they may be professional referees. Then when we come down, we have publications. It says if you want to include in your application details of publications of which you are the author or co-author, please follow the following formatting conventions. So if you want to include publications, you can read through this and see how to submit them. Then the last thing here is how to apply. If you're a new student, you can apply online. So let's click this. Apply as a new student. This is down here. So let's click apply as a new student. Here you're going to enter your personal details, then your email and phone details, your address details, your citizenship and residency details. When you come here, you agree to the terms and conditions, then proceed with registration. After you've registered, then you can start your application. This is how you apply to the University of Melbourne Graduate Research Scholarship. Good luck to all those who are going to apply, and I hope this video has been very helpful. If it has, don't forget to like, subscribe, share and comment and help support my channel. See you in the next video. Bye.